Violence against women and girls is a very key issue for the Commonwealth. It's a domestic problem, a national problem, an issue that pervades and affects societies. It affects women's health, women's economic development. It has a ripple effect beyond imagination. And that's why that even the Commonwealth has taken it seriously. And part of the mandate of the 2013 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting has requested that this situation of violence against women and girls is very dire, and that key steps must be taken to help and support countries to actually find a way to eliminate it.
It defines what abuse are, what constitutes abuse, whether it's physical or mental or psychological or economic deprivation. It gives a very clear definition of what abuse is. So anyone, no matter how lowly they're educated in the Western sense, will recognize what an abuse is in these terms and according to the provision of this law. The law says that when an abuse has taken place and compensation according to cultural practices is made, that does not take away the offense. The abuse is still an offense against this law. The law hooks up to the Constitution, to the rights and freedoms that are provided in the Constitution. So it takes its powers from there, and it expands and help other laws to implement and to protect rights and privileges of individuals. The law gives powers to the police to intervene. In the past, the police will say it's a private matter. In the past, a woman will come and report an abuse, and the husband will follow later and rescind the charges. That will no longer be the case now. The police will act on the charge irrespective of the husband turning up trying to rescind the charge. Now, not only the victim herself, but anyone else who sees an abuse taking place will report to the police.
Monitoring the implementation of these laws is a challenge, mainly because when you have to build the capacity of key stakeholders to actually implement, they also have the challenges of resources. They also have the challenges of funding. They also have the challenges of the society itself, the cultural taboos that is aligned to that, issues of violence. Some women and some girls have challenges in actually reporting these cases. And another issue that raised its head up was the issue of reporting. Reporting is done in many Commonwealth countries, and it's actually high. You know, reporting remains very high. But the challenge is, after reporting, what is done with it? Is there a follow-up? And then is there a consistent way of ensuring that these particular acts and perpetrations are dealt with? Dealing with violence against women is not necessarily restricted to women. It involves also the men. And they are wondering, why are we so much stressing on women and girls? Are you saying men and boys are not affected? We are saying men and boys are also affected by violence, but research has shown that the impunity is greater for women. The percentage of women that are affected by violence is quite higher, such as you have a high level of early and forced marriages, child and early forced marriages. You have issues of female genital mutilation. You have issues of rape, assault, incest. It is endless. And that's the reason why we have to involve the men. And there is a number of campaigns whereby, even in the Commonwealth countries, whereby they are including men to support the issues. In Rwanda, for example, they have a specific NGO that targets only men and boys, and they are also supporting ending impunity against violence against women and girls. Also in India, they have a number of campaigns whereby they are now involving and including men, whereby men and boys are being targeted in these countries to ensure that ending impunity is critical. Another role is to sensitize and to continually sensitize key stakeholders on their role and on the important aspect of using their resources to end impunity against violence against women and girls. Also, we have the international community, working with the international community, partnering with governments to ensure this particular issue is dealt with. It has to continue. We should realize that progress has been made, but that we should continue the effort until it is totally eliminated in this particular generation and going forward.